Your brain is not broken, it is not weak, and it is not failing you tonight. If your mind feels loud right now, if thoughts keep circling, if sleep feels close but never quite arrives, there is a reason, and the truth might surprise you. Because most people believe they cannot sleep because they are not tired enough, but very often, the opposite is happening. Your brain is not lacking sleep. Your brain is carrying too much, too many thoughts, too many unfinished loops, too many signals asking for attention. And when the brain feels overwhelmed, it does not power down easily. It tries to solve. It tries to organize. It tries to protect you by thinking just a little more, even though what you really want right now is quiet. So if your mind has been racing tonight, nothing is wrong with you. Your brain is simply overloaded. And tonight, we are going to help it slowly set some of that weight down, not by forcing sleep, not by fighting your thoughts, but by gently changing the way your mind holds them, little by little, until the pressure softens, until the noise fades, until your brain remembers something it has forgotten recently: how to rest. Welcome back to Quiet Mind Sleep, a place where your mind does not have to perform, a place where you do not need to solve everything before you sleep. And if tonight happens to be one of those nights where your mind feels especially loud, you are in the right place. Because what you are experiencing right now is extremely common in overwhelmed minds. When the brain is overloaded, it does something very interesting. Instead of shutting off, it speeds up. It scans. It searches for unfinished business. Your brain begins reviewing conversations, replaying moments, planning tomorrow, solving problems that do not actually need solving tonight. And the more it scans, the more alert it becomes, which creates the strange feeling many people describe at night. Your body feels tired, but your mind refuses to turn off, almost like your brain thinks the night is the perfect time to process everything. But here is something important to understand. Your brain is not doing this to bother you. It is trying to help. The mind evolved to keep you safe, and safety for the brain often means predicting what could go wrong, preparing, analyzing, organizing. During the day, life is noisy. Distractions are everywhere. Your phone buzzes. People talk. Tasks appear one after another. Your brain barely has time to pause. But at night, the world finally becomes quiet. And suddenly, your brain notices all the things it postponed earlier: unfinished thoughts, unprocessed emotions, small worries, big questions. And it tries to deal with all of them at once, which creates that feeling of mental pressure. The sensation that your thoughts are piling up faster than you can process them. Many people think this means they have insomnia, but often it simply means their brain has been holding too much for too long. And tonight we are not going to fight your thoughts. Fighting the mind usually makes it louder. Instead, we are going to do something different. We are going to slow the system that keeps generating them. Because thoughts are not just thoughts. They are signals from your nervous system. When the nervous system is activated, the brain produces more thinking, more scanning, more analyzing, But when the nervous system begins to settle, thoughts naturally become softer, not because you force them away, but because the brain no longer feels the need to hold them so tightly. So, for the next few minutes, nothing needs to be solved. Nothing needs to be figured out tonight. Your mind may still bring up thoughts. That is completely normal. Let them appear and let them pass, almost like watching clouds move slowly across the sky. You do not need to grab them. You do not need to finish them. Your brain can hold unfinished thoughts until tomorrow. Right now, your only job is something much simpler, allowing the pressure in your mind to slowly decrease. And that process begins with something your nervous system understands very well: slowing. So take a slow breath in through your nose, not a huge breath, just a comfortable one. Then let the air leave your body slowly, as if your system is gently releasing the day. Good. Now again, a calm breath in and an easy breath out. Each slow breath sends a small signal to the brain, a signal that says, the environment is safe enough to relax. Your brain listens to these signals more than you might realize. It watches your breathing, your muscles, your posture, and based on those signals, it decides how alert it needs to remain. So, as your breathing softens, your nervous system receives permission to ease. Nothing dramatic happens all at once. It is more like a dimmer switch, slowly lowering the brightness. The mind begins reducing its activity, just a little, then a little more. And while that happens, there is something very interesting about overwhelmed brains. They often believe they must keep thinking in order to stay in control. But real control comes from allowing the mind to pause. Because when the brain rests, it reorganizes itself naturally. Ideas settle, emotions process, memories file themselves away, all without effort. Sleep is not something the brain needs to be forced into. Sleep is what the brain does when the pressure finally lowers enough. So tonight, we are not chasing sleep. We are reducing pressure, and something gentle begins to happen when the pressure decreases. The brain stops trying so hard. Thoughts begin to slow their pace. Spaces appear between them, moments where your mind is not actively solving anything. Those small spaces are important, because sleep often enters quietly through those gaps, not with a switch, but with a gradual softening. You might notice your thoughts drifting, images appearing, fragments of memory, random scenes that make little sense. That is the mind beginning to loosen its grip on structured thinking, a sign that the brain is preparing for rest. And the more you allow that process to unfold, the easier it becomes. So if your mind tries to bring up another thought tonight, you can simply acknowledge it and gently remind your brain of something simple. Not tonight. Tomorrow we'll have time for that. Tonight is only for resting. Your brain does not need to carry everything through the night. It can place those thoughts down for a few hours. They will still exist tomorrow. But right now, your system deserves quiet. And the more your mind hears that message, the more your nervous system begins shifting into a different state, a slower state, a softer state, one where the brain stops scanning every corner of your life and instead focuses on something much simpler: rest. In a moment, we are going to explore something fascinating about overwhelmed brains, something that explains why thinking at night can feel impossible to stop. And once you understand this mechanism, your mind will begin letting go much more easily. But for now, just stay here, breathing slowly, allowing your thoughts to move at their own pace. Nothing to solve, nothing to control, just the quiet process of your mind slowly remembering how to rest. Your brain has a very specific job. It constantly scans your environment. It looks for patterns. It looks for potential problems. It tries to predict what might happen next. This system has helped humans survive for thousands of years, but in the modern world, it sometimes works a little too well, because your brain does not only scan the outside world, it also scans your thoughts. It checks memories, replays conversations, revisits small details that might not have mattered earlier in the day. And when your brain is overwhelmed, this scanning system becomes more active, almost like the mind is trying to organize a messy room. It keeps picking things up, looking at them, putting them down, then picking them up again. The strange part is that the brain often tries to do this organizing work at night, not because night is the best time, but because night is the first quiet moment the brain notices. During the day, your attention moves from task to task. Messages, work, conversations, decisions. Your brain keeps postponing deeper processing. It silently stores unfinished things in the background, little mental bookmarks. But when the day ends, those bookmarks reopen, one after another, and suddenly your brain feels busy again, even though your body is exhausted. This is why many people say the same sentence when describing nights like this. My body is tired, but my mind won't stop. It feels confusing, because you expect sleep to arrive when your body feels heavy. But sleep does not depend only on physical tiredness. Sleep also depends on mental load. When the brain feels overwhelmed, it delays the shutdown process. Not permanently, just long enough to feel safe letting go. So tonight, instead of trying to force your mind to stop thinking, we are going to show your brain something important. That it does not need to solve everything before resting. Your brain can pause the sorting process. It can continue tomorrow. In fact, the brain does its best organizing during sleep. Many neuroscientists describe sleep as a nightly reset. During deep sleep, the brain clears unnecessary signals. Emotional intensity reduces. Memories reorganize. What felt heavy earlier becomes lighter the next day. But that process only begins when the brain stops trying to control everything. So tonight, your mind is allowed to loosen its grip. You do not need to solve tomorrow. You do not need to replay every moment from today. Your brain is capable of holding unfinished thoughts safely until morning, and something interesting begins to happen when the brain hears that message repeatedly. The urgency fades, not instantly, but gradually, like a background alarm slowly lowering its volume. Your thoughts may still appear. That is normal, but they begin to feel less demanding. Less urgent, more distant, almost like they are moving further away from the center of your attention. You may notice them passing by quietly, One thought, then another, then a small pause, then another thought. And in those pauses, your nervous system relaxes a little more. Your breathing becomes softer. Your body begins releasing small areas of tension. Your shoulders might drop slightly. Your jaw may unclench without effort. These are signals that your system is shifting away from alert mode. Your brain constantly monitors the body. When muscles soften, the brain receives a message. The message says, "The situation is safe enough to rest," and the brain responds by reducing mental activity. This process is subtle, almost invisible, but it is powerful. You might notice that some thoughts now feel slower than before. Earlier tonight, they may have been racing. Now they begin arriving with more space between them. That space is important because the brain needs quiet moments in order to transition towards sleep. Think of it like a busy highway slowly emptying. At first, cars move quickly, constant traffic. Then gradually the flow decreases until eventually the road becomes calm. Your mind is doing something similar right now. Traffic is reducing. Thoughts are still passing, but the rush is easing. And if your mind briefly speeds up again, that is also normal. The brain does not slow in a perfectly straight line. It moves in waves, a moment of quiet, then a few thoughts, then quiet again. Each wave usually becomes softer than the previous one. So there is nothing you need to control, nothing you need to force. Just let the system unwind at its own pace. And if falling asleep has felt especially difficult for you recently, some listeners have been exploring gentle nighttime support for their nervous system. Natural ingredients that help the brain shift toward a calmer rhythm. Nothing dramatic, just quiet support for nights when the mind feels overloaded. If you ever feel curious about that kind of support, you can find it waiting in the pinned comment below, only if it feels right for you. For now, simply return your attention to something very simple: your breathing. Slow breath in, soft breath out. Your body already understands how to relax. It has done this thousands of times before. Every night, your system moves through small stages of slowing down. Heart rate decreases. Breathing becomes deeper. Muscles release their grip. And brain activity begins shifting from fast thinking patterns towards slower rhythms. These slower rhythms are the doorway into sleep. They allow the mind to drift. Images begin appearing. Thoughts become less structured, almost dreamlike. But here is something many people do not realize. The brain cannot enter those slower rhythms if it believes it must stay alert. So when the mind keeps scanning for problems, sleep waits patiently in the background, not gone, just waiting for the brain to release its watch, which is exactly what is beginning to happen right now. You may notice your thoughts becoming less organized, less linear. Instead of full conversations inside your head, you might notice short fragments, random ideas, small images, maybe a memory that appears briefly and disappears. These are early signs that the brain is shifting modes from problem solving into restoration. The mind slowly stops trying to control every detail. Instead, it begins drifting. And drifting is exactly what we want, because drifting leads to sleep, but it often begins in a quiet, subtle way, so subtle that many people miss it. They believe they are still fully awake, but their brain has already started releasing the day. If you notice yourself drifting in and out of thoughts, that is perfectly okay. In fact, it is a very good sign. It means the pressure in your mind is lowering, your nervous system is softening, and the part of your brain responsible for deep rest is slowly preparing to take over. In the next part, we will explore another reason overwhelmed brains struggle to rest at night, a small habit the mind develops during stressful periods. Once you understand this pattern, you will find it much easier to let the night carry you towards sleep. But for now, just continue resting here, breathing slowly, letting your thoughts move without effort, allowing the quiet spaces between them to grow. Your brain is not broken. It is simply learning how to release the weight it carried today. And tonight, it does not have to carry it alone. There is another pattern that overwhelmed minds develop, a pattern that is very easy to miss. But once you see it, everything about nighttime thinking begins to make more sense. When the brain experiences long periods of stress or mental overload, it slowly learns a new habit, the habit of staying on guard. Even during moments that should feel quiet, your brain begins to believe that constant thinking equals preparation. Preparation equals safety. So it keeps the mind active, reviewing, predicting, analyzing. At first, this response is helpful. It helps you solve problems. It helps you navigate difficult situations. But when the brain repeats this pattern for too long, it forgets how to switch the system off. The mind stays in problem-solving mode, even when the day is over. Even when the room is quiet, even when your body clearly needs rest. This is why overwhelmed minds often feel busiest at night, not because night causes the thoughts, but because night removes the distractions that were hiding them. Suddenly, your brain notices everything it postponed earlier. Small concerns, unanswered questions, things you wish you had said differently, things you hope will go well tomorrow. Your brain tries to process all of it at once, but something interesting happens when the brain attempts this. The more it thinks, the more it activates the nervous system, and the more activated the nervous system becomes, the more thinking the brain produces. It becomes a loop. Thinking creates alertness. Alertness creates more thinking. This loop can make it feel like the mind is stuck, like a wheel that keeps turning even when you want it to slow down. But the good news is something very important. This loop is not permanent. It is simply a habit your nervous system learned. And habits can be softened, not by force, but by gradually teaching the brain a new rhythm, a slower rhythm, a rhythm where silence is safe. So tonight we are gently interrupting that loop, not by trying to stop thoughts, but by removing the urgency behind them. Because most nighttime thinking comes from one hidden belief. The belief that the brain must solve everything right now. But that belief is rarely true. Very few things in life require solutions at 2 a.m. Most problems become clearer after rest. Most emotions soften after sleep. And many thoughts that feel heavy at night lose their intensity in the morning light. Your brain already knows this. But when it feels overwhelmed, it temporarily forgets. So tonight we are reminding your mind of something simple. Rest is productive. Sleep is not an interruption of thinking. Sleep is what makes clear thinking possible tomorrow. So your brain is allowed to pause, allowed to set things down, allowed to drift. And drifting often begins with a subtle shift in attention. Instead of focusing on the next thought, your awareness begins noticing something else. The feeling of the bed supporting your body, the gentle rhythm of your breathing, the quiet space around you. These small sensations anchor the nervous system. They tell the brain that the environment is stable. Nothing urgent is happening right now. And when the brain recognizes stability, it slowly releases the need to stay alert. You may notice your breathing becoming deeper without effort. Air entering calmly, air leaving slowly, each breath like a soft wave, and with every breath out, your nervous system releases a small amount of tension. Not everything at once, just a little at a time. Your shoulders soften, your forehead smooths, the tiny muscles around your eyes begin relaxing. These changes may feel subtle, but they send powerful signals to the brain, signals that say, the day is finished, the system can power down, and the brain listens carefully to these signals. It begins lowering its internal noise. Thoughts become less sharp, less demanding, more like distant echoes than urgent messages. You might notice something interesting now. Some thoughts no longer feel worth finishing. They appear briefly, then fade away before reaching the end. That is a sign your mind is releasing control, letting thoughts dissolve naturally. You do not need to complete every mental sentence tonight. Your brain will handle unfinished pieces later. Right now, your only job is resting in the quiet that is slowly expanding. And sometimes, when the mind has been overwhelmed for a long time, it benefits from a little extra support while relearning this rhythm. Something gentle that helps the nervous system shift toward calm more easily. Some listeners have mentioned using natural nighttime support during stressful periods. Support that works quietly with the body's relaxation pathways. Nothing you need to rely on forever, just a soft nudge toward calmer nights while the mind recovers balance. If that ever feels helpful for you, there is a simple option waiting in the pinned comment below, only if it feels right for you. For now, the most important thing is the rhythm you are building right here. Slow breath in, slow breath out, your body resting, your mind slowly reducing its effort. There is no deadline for sleep, no pressure to make it happen. Sleep is not something you chase. Sleep is something that arrives when the system feels safe enough. And safety begins with stillness. So let the quiet in this moment grow. Let your thoughts come and go like distant waves. You do not need to follow them. You do not need to analyze them. Just notice them passing. Your brain is learning that silence is not dangerous. Silence is restful. And with each minute that passes, the part of your nervous system responsible for deep rest becomes more active. This part of the system slows the heart, deepens the breath, softens the muscles, and gradually shifts brain activity towards sleep rhythms. These rhythms are slower, more fluid, more dreamlike. You may begin noticing small fragments of imagery appearing in your mind. A place, a color, a memory, something random that appears without effort. These gentle mental images are signs that your brain is beginning the transition towards sleep. It is leaving analytical thinking, entering a softer mental landscape, a landscape where thoughts drift rather than race. And the more you allow this drifting to happen, the easier it becomes. In the next part, we will explore a quiet technique that helps overwhelmed minds release the last layer of tension they carry into the night. A simple shift that tells the brain it no longer needs to hold everything together. But for now, just remain here, breathing slowly, letting the mind float gently between thoughts and silence. Your brain is not tired in the way you once believed. It has simply been holding too much. And tonight, piece by piece, it is learning how to set that weight down. Sometimes the mind stays active at night for a very simple reason. It believes it must keep holding everything together. During the day, your brain carries many responsibilities: schedules, decisions, conversations, plans for the future. Even small things add weight to the system. Responding to messages, remembering appointments, thinking about work, thinking about family. Your brain becomes the manager of hundreds of small details. Most of the time you do not notice this effort, but the brain notices. It keeps track of everything. And when the day ends, something interesting happens. The mind hesitates to release control, almost like a person holding many objects in their hands. If they let go, everything might fall. So the brain keeps gripping tightly, holding thoughts, holding worries, holding unfinished plans, not because it wants to stay awake, but because it believes letting go might be risky. This is one of the quiet reasons overwhelmed minds struggle with sleep. The brain feels responsible for maintaining control. But here is something important to remember tonight. Your brain does not need to hold everything while you sleep. In fact, the brain functions best when it temporarily releases that responsibility. Sleep is the time when the mind reorganizes information. The brain sorts memories, processes emotions, stores important experiences, and removes unnecessary noise. All of this happens automatically. You do not need to supervise it. Your brain already knows how. But it can only begin when the system stops gripping so tightly. So tonight we introduce a very gentle shift, a shift from holding to allowing. You do not need to force the mind to let go. Instead, imagine placing the weight of the day beside you, not throwing it away, just setting it down for a few hours. Tomorrow your mind can pick things up again. Tomorrow there will be time to plan, time to decide, time to think clearly. But tonight your only responsibility is rest. Let your body sink a little deeper into the surface beneath you. Feel the support under your back, under your shoulders, under your legs. Your body does not need to hold itself up right now. The bed is doing that work for you. Your muscles notice this support, and slowly they release their effort. Tiny muscles first. The muscles in your face soften. The space between your eyebrows relaxes. Your jaw becomes loose. Your tongue rests comfortably in your mouth. Then your shoulders drop slightly. Your arms grow heavier. Your hands rest without gripping anything. Your legs soften. Your feet become still. Each part of your body slowly handing its weight over to the surface beneath you. Your brain watches these signals carefully. Every relaxed muscle tells the brain the same message. Nothing urgent is happening. The system can slow down, so the mind begins reducing its activity again. Thoughts become less structured, less analytical, more fluid, almost like your brain is switching languages from problem solving to quiet drifting. And drifting thoughts behave differently. They appear softly, sometimes unfinished, sometimes strange. A memory appears, then fades. A random idea forms, then dissolves. This is normal. It means your mind is stepping away from the task of control. Your brain no longer needs to organize every detail of the day. Instead, it begins entering the natural flow that leads towards sleep. And while this happens, something important is taking place deep inside your nervous system. The calming branch of your nervous system becomes more active. This system slows the heart, regulates breathing, and tells the brain it is safe to power down. You may notice your breathing changing slightly, becoming slower, smoother, more effortless. Your body knows how to move towards sleep. It has done this every night of your life, even on nights when the process took longer. Your system eventually finds its way, and tonight you are giving it the space it needs to do that again. If a thought appears, let it appear. You do not need to stop it. Just let it pass like a quiet ripple across water. Your brain is learning that not every thought requires action. Many thoughts can simply drift away on their own. In fact, the more gently you allow them to pass, the quieter your mind becomes, because the brain stops feeling the need to insist. It realizes you are not chasing every signal, so it sends fewer signals. Gradually, the inner noise fades, and the quiet spaces between thoughts become longer. You may notice moments where your mind feels blank, a few seconds where nothing in particular is happening. These small moments of mental quiet are very important. They are the doorway to deeper rest. When these quiet spaces appear, the brain often moves closer to the first stages of sleep. Your awareness begins drifting, not fully asleep, but no longer fully engaged with thinking, almost like floating gently between two states. This drifting feeling can come and go several times. Each time it happens, your nervous system relaxes a little more. Your brain waves slow. Your body becomes heavier. Your mind loosens its grip on the day. There is no need to measure this process. No need to ask whether sleep is coming yet. Sleep does not like being measured. It prefers to arrive quietly. So instead of waiting for sleep, simply continue resting here, breathing slowly, letting the body soften, letting the mind drift. Your brain has been carrying many things recently, but right now, it is learning something it may have forgotten. That rest is safe. That silence is safe. That the mind does not need to stay on duty all night. In the next part, we will gently guide your attention toward a calming mental landscape, a place where overwhelmed thoughts naturally fade into the background. But for now, Just stay with this feeling of support beneath you, your body resting, your breathing calm, your mind slowly setting down the weight it carried through the day. Your mind has been working hard for a long time, solving problems, planning ahead, trying to keep everything in order. And when a mind has carried that much responsibility, it often forgets how quiet can feel. So in this moment, we gently guide your attention somewhere simpler, somewhere calm, not a place you must imagine perfectly, just a soft mental space where the mind can rest. Picture a quiet path, not crowded, not busy, just a peaceful path that stretches gently forward. The ground beneath your feet feels stable, smooth, comfortable. There is no rush here, no destination you need to reach. Just the slow rhythm of walking, step by step, each step light, each step unhurried. Above you, the sky is wide and calm. The air feels cool and steady, nothing demanding your attention, nothing asking you to solve anything. This path exists only for quiet movement, and as your mind walks along this path, something begins to change. The noise of earlier thoughts starts fading into the distance, almost like leaving a busy street behind. With every step forward, the mind becomes quieter. Your thoughts grow softer, less urgent. You notice small details around you, the gentle movement of leaves, the quiet sound of wind passing through distant trees, the feeling of calm space surrounding you. Your brain enjoys environments like this, simple, predictable, safe. When the mind enters spaces like this, the nervous system relaxes naturally. Your breathing becomes steady, your muscles soften again, your thoughts slow their pace, and the brain stops searching for problems. Because nothing here needs solving, just quiet walking, step by step. You move along the path without effort. The ground feels slightly warm from the day. The air carries a gentle stillness. Even the sounds around you are soft, almost distant. Each step creates a calm rhythm inside your mind. Step, pause, step, pause. With every pause, your thoughts drift further away, like faint echoes dissolving into the background. You may notice something interesting now. Your mind does not feel as crowded. The mental pressure from earlier has eased. Thoughts that once felt heavy now seem less important, less demanding, almost like objects you can place down beside the path. You do not need to carry them anymore tonight. You can leave them here safely. They will still exist tomorrow if needed. But right now, they are simply resting, just like you. And as you continue walking slowly along this quiet path, the mind becomes even calmer. Your breathing follows the rhythm of your steps. Slow breath in, gentle breath out. The nervous system recognizes this rhythm. It understands this pace. It begins shifting further into its restful mode. Your heart beats slower. Your muscles loosen even more. The brain reduces the signals that once kept you alert, and the quiet around you grows deeper. You might notice the sky beginning to dim slightly, not suddenly, just gradually, as if the world itself is preparing for sleep. The colors soften, the air becomes cooler, everything around you slowing down. and your mind moves with that same gentle rhythm. No rush, no effort, just drifting forward along the path. You might begin noticing that your thoughts feel less structured now. They do not form full sentences anymore, just small fragments, little pieces of imagery, a memory, a color, a vague idea that fades before it finishes. This is a natural sign that your brain is moving away from analytical thinking toward the early stages of sleep. Your mind no longer needs to organize everything. It simply drifts like leaves floating quietly on water, and the path continues ahead, calm and open. You walk a little further, then notice something comforting, a place to rest. A smooth wooden bench beside the path, simple, peaceful, waiting quietly. You sit down. The moment you sit, your body sinks gently into comfort. Your legs relax, your shoulders drop, your breathing becomes even slower. From this quiet place, you look around, nothing demanding your attention. Just stillness. The kind of stillness overwhelmed minds rarely experience during the day, and your brain recognizes it immediately. It begins letting go even more. Thoughts soften. Spaces between them grow longer. Your mind begins drifting more freely. You might notice that the path, the trees, and the quiet landscape around you feels slightly distant now, almost dreamlike. That is perfectly okay. Your brain is transitioning into a softer mode of awareness. The boundary between imagination and rest becomes thinner. You do not need to hold the scene clearly. You can let it blur, let it fade. Your nervous system is doing the important work now, slowly guiding the brain towards sleep. Your breathing continues its gentle rhythm. In, out, in, out. Every breath releasing a little more tension from the system. And with every exhale, the mind sinks deeper into calm. You might feel your body growing heavier now. The comfortable heaviness that comes before sleep. Your arms resting, your legs completely still, your eyelids soft, your mind drifting further away from active thinking. And this quiet bench beside the path becomes a place where your brain can fully pause. No responsibilities, no decisions, no need to hold the day together anymore, just rest. In the next part, we will allow this peaceful landscape to grow even quieter. Your mind will begin moving further into the gentle drifting state that naturally leads towards sleep. But for now, simply remain here, resting, breathing slowly, letting the calm space around you expand. Your brain is no longer overwhelmed. It is slowly remembering how to be quiet again. Remain seated for a moment on that quiet bench. There is no need to move, no need to imagine anything new. Just notice how calm the space around you feels. The air is still. The path behind you is empty, and the path ahead waits patiently. But there is no rush to continue walking. For now, resting is enough. Your body enjoys this stillness. Your shoulders remain soft. Your arms rest loosely by your sides. Your hands are relaxed. Your legs feel heavy and supported. Even the small muscles in your face have stopped working. Your forehead is smooth. Your jaw is loose. Your tongue rests quietly. When the body reaches this level of ease, the brain receives a very clear signal. The signal says the system can power down further, so your mind begins lowering its activity once again. Thoughts appear less often now, and when they do appear, they feel distant, almost like whispers fading before they fully form. You might notice your breathing has slowed even more, each breath arriving gently, each breath leaving slowly. Your chest rises softly, then settles. This rhythm is one of the most calming signals your nervous system can receive. It tells the brain that everything in the environment is stable, nothing urgent, nothing threatening, just quiet space and steady breathing. The nervous system responds by activating its deepest calming pathways. Your heart rate slows slightly. Your muscles soften further. Your brain waves begin shifting toward the slower patterns that prepare for sleep. These patterns are smooth, fluid, almost like gentle waves rolling across water, and your thoughts begin moving in the same way. Instead of sharp thinking, the mind now drifts through soft fragments, small images, random impressions, memories that appear for a moment, then fade. You do not need to hold on to any of them. Just let them pass quietly. Your brain is doing exactly what it is designed to do when rest becomes safe. It is letting go of structured thinking, allowing the mind to wander freely. You may even notice brief moments where your mind feels blank, a few seconds where nothing is happening at all. These small empty spaces are very important. They are the moments where sleep begins entering. The brain often moves towards sleep through these quiet gaps, drifting in, then drifting back, then drifting in again. Each time, the system becomes a little heavier, a little calmer. Your body may feel warmer now, or slightly heavier against the surface beneath you. This is your nervous system continuing to release tension. Muscles no longer holding the day. The mind no longer trying to manage every detail. Everything slowing, everything softening. And if your brain still brings a thought now and then, that is perfectly fine. Thoughts are just small echoes from earlier activity. They will fade naturally as your system continues relaxing. There is no need to push them away. Just notice them briefly, then allow them to pass, like clouds drifting slowly across the sky. Your mind is learning that silence does not need to be filled. Silence can simply exist, and the longer you remain in this quiet state, the easier it becomes for your brain to remain here, because the nervous system loves repetition. The more often it experiences calm environments like this, the faster it returns to them. So nights like this are not wasted. Even when sleep takes time, your brain is relearning how to relax deeply, rebuilding the pathways that allow rest to come more easily. Some listeners notice that gentle nighttime support can help reinforce this process. Natural support that works quietly with the body's calming systems. Nothing dramatic, just a little extra help when the mind has been overwhelmed for many nights. If that ever feels helpful for you, there is an option waiting quietly in the pinned comment below. Only if it feels right for you. For now, the calm you are building here is already doing powerful work. Your breathing remains slow. Your body remains still. Your mind drifts further away from active thinking. The bench beneath you feels even more comfortable now, like a safe place to remain as long as you like. You might even notice the landscape around you beginning to fade slightly, the trees becoming softer, the path less defined, almost like the edges of a dream beginning to form. That is perfectly natural. When the brain prepares for sleep, imagery often becomes less detailed, more fluid. The mind begins blending imagination with early dreaming. You do not need to hold the scene clearly. You can let it dissolve slowly. Let the path fade. Let the trees blur. Let the bench soften beneath you. Because what truly matters now is not the scene. It is the calm rhythm your nervous system has entered. Slow breathing, soft muscles, quiet mind. These signals tell the brain it is safe to move deeper into rest. You might feel your eyelids becoming heavier, your thoughts becoming slower, your awareness drifting gently in and out, almost like floating on calm water. There is no need to control this drifting. Your brain already knows the direction. Every minute, your system becomes more prepared for sleep. The busy activity from earlier tonight now feels very far away. Your mind is no longer trying to organize the entire day. Instead, it is settling into something much simpler. Stillness. In the next part, we will allow your mind to drift even deeper into this calm state, where thoughts grow softer, breathing becomes slower, and sleep begins approaching quietly in the background. But for now, remain here in this gentle quiet, your body resting completely, your breathing slow and steady, your mind floating peacefully between wakefulness and sleep. At this point in the night, something quiet is happening inside your brain. The system that was once busy analyzing the day is slowly stepping back. It no longer needs to stay in control. Instead, a different system begins guiding the mind. A slower system, a calmer system. This part of your brain does not solve problems. It restores balance. And it works best when the mind stops trying to direct everything. So you can allow your attention to become softer now, less focused, more open. Your breathing continues moving gently, air entering your body slowly, then leaving just as easily. Your chest rises, then settles again. This steady rhythm is like a quiet signal traveling through your nervous system, a signal that says rest is safe. And the more your system receives that message, the deeper your body relaxes. You may notice your arms feel heavier now. Your legs feel warm and still. Your shoulders rest completely. Even your eyelids feel softer, almost like they are resting too. Your brain carefully observes all these signals, and when the body becomes this relaxed, the brain begins reducing its alert systems. The internal scanning that once searched for problems begins shutting down. The mind stops checking every corner of your thoughts. Instead, it allows awareness to drift. You may notice thoughts appearing differently now. They do not arrive with urgency. They float gently into your mind, sometimes incomplete, sometimes unusual, a fragment of memory, a brief image, a random idea that fades before it finishes. This is a very natural stage of mental relaxation. Your brain is moving away from structured thinking, entering a softer pattern that prepares for sleep. And the more you allow this drifting pattern to continue, the easier the transition becomes. Some people notice a curious sensation during this stage, Their thoughts feel almost like dreams, not fully logical, not fully controlled, just soft mental pictures forming and dissolving. If that happens tonight, simply allow it. Your brain is beginning the natural process that leads into sleep. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to guide. Just rest inside the rhythm your nervous system has created. Slow breathing, heavy muscles, quiet thoughts. You might notice your awareness drifting away for a few seconds, then returning again. This gentle drifting is a sign your brain is moving closer to sleep. The system is testing the transition, stepping towards sleep, then stepping back briefly, then drifting forward again. Each time it drifts forward, the mind relaxes more deeply. The body becomes heavier. Thoughts become softer. Soon the drifting lasts longer than the returning, and sleep arrives quietly without effort. So there is no need to wait for sleep. Just remain inside this gentle rhythm. Your body already knows the direction. You may notice that sounds around you feel more distant now. Even the room itself feels quieter. Your mind is slowly withdrawing from the outside world, turning inward toward rest. Your breathing remains steady. In, out, in, out. Every breath releasing a little more tension. Every exhale softening the nervous system further. Your brain enjoys this repetition. The simple rhythm helps it maintain calm, because calm signals safety, and safety allows sleep. Your thoughts now may feel very light, almost transparent, appearing briefly, then disappearing before you fully notice them. That is exactly how the mind begins drifting into dreams. The boundaries between thoughts start dissolving. Images blend together. The brain stops organizing everything. It simply floats. Your body becomes even more comfortable. The surface beneath you supports every part of your weight. Your back is supported. Your shoulders rest completely. Your legs remain still. Nothing needs to move. Nothing needs attention. And because the body is so still, the brain reduces its signals even further. Muscles no longer need instructions. Breathing continues automatically. The heart beats steadily. The nervous system remains calm. And when the body reaches this level of ease, the brain becomes ready for deeper sleep. You might notice that it is harder now to follow long thoughts. Your mind prefers shorter impressions, a sound, a color, a vague memory, then quiet again. This gentle pattern is the doorway to dreams. Your brain is already preparing them, small fragments of imagery forming softly in the background, the mind drifting further away from structured awareness. And that drifting feeling may become stronger in the next few minutes. You might feel like you are floating gently between wakefulness and sleep, neither fully awake nor fully asleep, just suspended in calm stillness. This space is where overwhelmed minds finally begin releasing the last pieces of tension. Your brain no longer needs to hold the entire day. It no longer needs to review every thought. Instead, it lets the night carry those thoughts away, like waves washing quietly across the shore. Your breathing remains slow. Your body remains heavy. Your mind continues drifting deeper into rest. In the next part, your awareness will become even softer. Thoughts will fade further, and the quiet rhythm of sleep will move closer, but there is nothing you need to prepare, nothing you need to expect. Just remain inside this calm breathing. Let the mind wander gently. Let the body rest completely. Your brain is no longer overwhelmed. It is finally beginning to rest. Your mind is moving deeper into quiet now. The busy thinking from earlier in the night has softened. What once felt crowded now feels spacious. Thoughts no longer rush in. They appear slowly. Sometimes they do not appear at all. Just quiet, just breathing, just the gentle feeling of your body resting. This is the state where overwhelmed minds begin recovering, because the brain finally receives something it has been missing: stillness. During the day, your mind works constantly. It listens, it decides, it reacts. But right now, none of those tasks are required. Your brain is free from responsibility for a while. And when the brain notices that freedom, it relaxes even more deeply. Your breathing continues its steady rhythm. Air moves in slowly, then leaves your body just as calmly. Every exhale releases a small amount of tension. Your shoulders soften further. Your arms feel heavier. Your legs remain completely still. Even the tiny muscles in your hands and fingers have stopped working. The body understands that nothing needs to move. Nothing needs attention. So the nervous system moves deeper into its resting state. This resting state is very different from daytime thinking. During the day, your brain produces fast electrical patterns, quick signals, rapid decisions. But now those patterns begin slowing. The brain shifts towards slower rhythms, gentle waves of activity moving through the mind. These slower rhythms help the brain repair itself. They allow emotional tension to dissolve. They allow memories to organize themselves. They allow the nervous system to reset. You may notice your thoughts becoming even softer now. They no longer feel like conversations in your head. Instead, they feel like brief impressions, a color, a place, a sound that fades quickly. Your brain is gradually stepping away from logical thinking, entering the early layers of dreaming. You might also notice that your sense of time feels different. Minutes pass without you noticing. Thoughts fade before you fully recognize them. Awareness drifts quietly. That drifting is natural. It means your brain is letting go of the effort to stay awake. Your body supports this process completely. Your muscles remain loose. Your breathing remains slow. Your heart continues its steady rhythm. Everything inside you working together to guide the mind toward rest. If a thought briefly appears, you can let it float past without following it. There is no need to examine it, no need to finish it. Your brain understands now that nighttime is not for solving problems. Nighttime is for restoring energy. And the longer your mind remains in this calm state, the easier that restoration becomes. Your eyelids may feel heavier now, your thoughts slower, your awareness softer, almost like you are floating gently in warm water, supported, weightless, calm. Many people notice that their mind drifts in and out during this stage. A moment of quiet awareness, then a brief dreamlike image, then quiet again. This gentle movement between states is the brain's natural pathway into sleep. Each time you drift, the system relaxes more deeply. Your body sinks further into the surface beneath you. Your breathing grows slower. Your mind releases even more control. You may not even notice when sleep finally begins, because sleep often arrives quietly, without a clear moment of transition. One moment the mind is drifting, the next moment it has already crossed into rest. So there is nothing you need to watch for, nothing you need to measure. Just continue resting inside the calm rhythm of your breathing. In, out, in, out. Your nervous system understands this rhythm. It recognizes the signal, and it continues guiding the brain deeper into relaxation. Your thoughts now are very light. Sometimes they do not even finish forming, just faint shapes appearing and dissolving. That is the mind moving closer to dreams. And dreams are where the brain finally releases the last tension from the day. Memories mix with imagination. Emotions settle. The mind reorganizes everything it carried earlier. But for that process to begin fully, the brain simply needs permission to drift, permission to stop working, permission to rest. And tonight you are giving it that permission. Your body is still, your breathing is slow, your mind is quiet. The overwhelmed feeling from earlier has faded into the background. All that remains is calm space, soft breathing, and the gentle pull of sleep waiting nearby. In the next part, your awareness will become even softer. Thoughts will become faint, and your mind will drift even closer to the quiet world of dreams. For now, remain here in this calm rhythm. Your body resting, your breathing steady, your mind floating peacefully towards sleep. Your mind is very quiet now, not empty, just calm. The busy thinking from earlier feels far away, almost like something that happened in another part of the day. Right now, there is only the slow rhythm of rest. Your breathing continues gently, air moving in, air moving out, each breath calm and steady, each breath telling your nervous system that everything is safe. Your body responds to that message by relaxing even more. Your shoulders sink deeper into the surface beneath you. Your arms feel warm and heavy. Your hands remain completely still. Your legs are relaxed, your feet resting without effort. Even the tiny muscles in your face remain soft. Your forehead smooth, your jaw loose, your eyes resting comfortably behind closed eyelids. When the body becomes this relaxed, the brain receives a powerful signal. It understands that there is no need for alertness anymore, so the mind continues slowing down. Thoughts appear less often, and when they do appear, they feel very light, almost transparent. You may notice that it is difficult to follow a long thought now. The mind prefers brief impressions, a color, a place, a faint image, then quiet again. This is the brain moving closer to dream activity. During this stage, awareness becomes softer, more fluid. Thoughts begin blending into gentle mental pictures. The mind no longer needs to organize or analyze them. They simply appear and fade on their own. And every time the mind drifts into one of these soft images, the body relaxes further. Your breathing becomes slower again, your chest rising and falling with quiet ease, your heart beating steadily, your nervous system resting deeply. You might notice small moments where your awareness fades briefly. A few seconds pass without any thoughts at all. Then awareness returns softly. These small gaps are important. They are the spaces where sleep begins to take hold. Your brain often enters sleep through these quiet pauses, drifting out of awareness, then returning gently, then drifting again. Each time the drifting lasts a little longer. Each time the body becomes heavier. Each time the mind releases more of the day. There is no need to guide this process. Your brain has done it thousands of times before. It knows the way. All you need to do is remain comfortable and still. Let the breathing continue. Let the mind float. Your nervous system is doing the rest. And you may notice now that sounds around you feel distant, almost muted. Your mind is slowly withdrawing from the outside world, turning inward toward deeper rest. Your thoughts grow softer. Your awareness becomes lighter, almost like floating gently in a quiet space. Sometimes during this stage, the brain begins forming dreamlike fragments. A place, a face, a movement. Then they dissolve before becoming clear. This is perfectly natural. The brain is beginning to transition into dreaming. Dreams allow the mind to release emotional tension, to process memories, to restore mental balance. But for dreams to fully arrive, the brain simply needs to keep drifting. And drifting becomes easier with every slow breath. In, out, in, out. Your breathing remains steady. Your body remains completely relaxed. Your mind continues floating gently between thoughts and silence. You might even notice that the earlier feeling of overwhelm has disappeared completely. The pressure in your mind has dissolved. Your brain no longer feels responsible for solving everything tonight. Instead, it trusts the quiet rhythm of sleep. And the longer you remain in this calm state, the closer sleep moves. Not rushing, not forcing, just slowly approaching. Your eyelids feel heavier now. Your thoughts feel softer. Your awareness begins fading more often. That is the brain preparing to move deeper into rest. Soon the drifting moments will become longer. Soon the mind will settle fully into sleep. But there is nothing you need to watch for. Sleep does not need attention. It arrives quietly when the system is ready. So simply remain here, breathing slowly, resting comfortably. Let the quiet space around you expand. Your brain is no longer overwhelmed. Your mind is calm. Your body is relaxed. And the night is gently carrying you towards sleep. In the next part, your awareness will soften even further. Thoughts will fade almost completely, and the mind will drift naturally into the deeper layers of rest. For now, just continue resting in this peaceful rhythm, your breathing slow, your body heavy, your mind floating quietly towards sleep. Your mind is very close to sleep now. Thoughts have become soft and distant. The busy activity from earlier in the night feels like it belongs to another time. Your brain is no longer trying to organize the day. It has moved into a slower rhythm, a rhythm made for rest. Your breathing continues gently, air entering slowly, air leaving just as calmly. Your chest rises, then falls again, each breath quiet and steady. Your nervous system listens to this rhythm and relaxes even more. Your body feels heavier now, comfortably heavy. Your shoulders rest deeply. Your arms remain still beside you. Your hands are warm and relaxed. Your legs sink into the surface beneath you. Even your feet feel calm and loose. Your brain observes all these signals. When the body reaches this level of ease, the mind begins releasing its final layer of alertness. Thoughts no longer form clearly. They appear briefly and dissolve. Sometimes only a faint impression, sometimes nothing at all. Just quiet awareness. You may notice that your mind drifts for longer moments now. A few seconds pass. Then awareness returns softly. Then the drifting happens again. These gentle waves are the brain stepping into sleep, each wave moving deeper than the last. Your breathing becomes slower again. In, out, in, out. Your heart beats steadily. Your muscles remain soft. Your mind continues letting go. If a thought appears now, it often fades before you finish noticing it. The brain is no longer interested in following long ideas. Instead, it prefers quiet fragments, a color, a place, a soft memory. Then silence again. That silence is where sleep grows stronger. You might feel your eyelids becoming heavier, your awareness becoming lighter, almost like floating in a calm, quiet space. The mind is moving gently toward dreams. And as your system settles deeper into rest, some people find it comforting to have a little extra support during the night. Something natural that helps the nervous system stay calm while the brain continues this slow transition into sleep. Nothing strong, nothing forced. Just gentle support for nights when the mind has carried a lot. If you ever feel curious about that kind of support, there is a simple option waiting in the pinned comment below, only if it feels right for you. For now, the most important thing is the calm rhythm you have created tonight. Your breathing remains slow. Your body remains completely relaxed. Your mind continues drifting further away from wakefulness. The outside world feels distant now. Sounds fade. Time feels softer. Your awareness floats gently between thoughts and quiet. The overwhelmed feeling that once filled your mind has disappeared. Your brain has set down the weight it carried earlier. It no longer needs to review the day. It no longer needs to prepare for tomorrow. Right now, your brain is doing something much more important, restoring itself. During sleep, the brain clears away unnecessary signals. Emotional tension dissolves. Memories reorganize. Energy returns. All the systems inside your mind begin restoring balance. But that process begins quietly. It begins here, in the calm space between thoughts, in the slow rhythm of breathing, in the stillness of your body resting comfortably. You may notice that your thoughts now are extremely faint, almost like distant echoes, appearing for a moment, then fading away. This is the edge of sleep, your brain standing at the doorway between awareness and dreams. There is nothing you need to do. No need to watch for the moment sleep arrives. Sleep prefers silence. It arrives quietly when the mind stops waiting for it. So allow your awareness to soften even more. Let your breathing guide the rhythm. In, out, in, out. Your body grows heavier. Your mind grows quieter. The calm you created tonight continues deepening. Soon the drifting will last longer than the moments of awareness. Soon your brain will step fully into sleep. And once that happens, the night will carry you through deep rest. Rest that restores your mind. Rest that releases the pressure you carried earlier. Rest that prepares you for tomorrow with a calmer mind. But for now, simply remain here in this gentle quiet. Your breathing slow, your body completely supported, your mind floating softly toward dreams. In the next part, your awareness will become even softer. Thoughts will fade almost completely, and the night will guide your mind deeper into peaceful sleep. Your mind is very close to sleep now. Thoughts have become soft and distant. The busy activity from earlier in the night feels like it belongs to another time. Your brain is no longer trying to organize the day. It has moved into a slower rhythm, a rhythm made for rest. Your breathing continues gently, air entering slowly, air leaving just as calmly. Your chest rises, then falls again, each breath quiet and steady. Your nervous system listens to this rhythm and relaxes even more. Your body feels heavier now, comfortably heavy. Your shoulders rest deeply. Your arms remain still beside you. Your hands are warm and relaxed. Your legs sink into the surface beneath you. Even your feet feel calm and loose. Your brain observes all these signals. When the body reaches this level of ease, the mind begins releasing its final layer of alertness. Thoughts no longer form clearly. They appear briefly and dissolve. Sometimes only a faint impression, sometimes nothing at all. Just quiet awareness. You may notice that your mind drifts for longer moments now. A few seconds pass. Then awareness returns softly. Then the drifting happens again. These gentle waves are the brain stepping into sleep, each wave moving deeper than the last. Your breathing becomes slower again. In, out, in, out. Your heart beats steadily. Your muscles remain soft. Your mind continues letting go. If a thought appears now, it often fades before you finish noticing it. The brain is no longer interested in following long ideas. Instead, it prefers quiet fragments, a color, a place, a soft memory. Then silence again. That silence is where sleep grows stronger. You might feel your eyelids becoming heavier, your awareness becoming lighter, almost like floating in a calm, quiet space. The mind is moving gently toward dreams. And as your system settles deeper into rest, some people find it comforting to have a little extra support during the night. Something natural that helps the nervous system stay calm while the brain continues this slow transition into sleep. Nothing strong, nothing forced, just gentle support for nights when the mind has carried a lot. If you ever feel curious about that kind of support, there is a simple option waiting in the pinned comment below. Only if it feels right for you. For now, the most important thing is the calm rhythm you have created tonight. Your breathing remains slow. Your body remains completely relaxed. Your mind continues drifting further away from wakefulness. The outside world feels distant now. Sounds fade. Time feels softer. Your awareness floats gently between thoughts and quiet. The overwhelmed feeling that once filled your mind has disappeared. Your brain has set down the weight it carried earlier. It no longer needs to review the day. It no longer needs to prepare for tomorrow. Right now, your brain is doing something much more important, restoring itself. During sleep, the brain clears away unnecessary signals. Emotional tension dissolves. Memories reorganize. Energy returns. All the systems inside your mind begin restoring balance. But that process begins quietly. It begins here, in the calm space between thoughts, in the slow rhythm of breathing, in the stillness of your body resting comfortably. You may notice that your thoughts now are extremely faint, almost like distant echoes, appearing for a moment, then fading away. This is the edge of sleep, your brain standing at the doorway between awareness and dreams. There is nothing you need to do, no need to watch for the moment sleep arrives. Sleep prefers silence. It arrives quietly when the mind stops waiting for it. So allow your awareness to soften even more. Let your breathing guide the rhythm. In, out, in, out. Your body grows heavier. Your mind grows quieter. The calm you created tonight continues deepening. Soon the drifting will last longer than the moments of awareness. Soon your brain will step fully into sleep. And once that happens, the night will carry you through deep rest. Rest that restores your mind. Rest that releases the pressure you carried earlier. Rest that prepares you for tomorrow with a calmer mind. But for now, simply remain here in this gentle quiet. Your breathing slow, your body completely supported, your mind floating softly toward dreams. In the next part, your awareness will become even softer. Thoughts will fade almost completely, and the night will guide your mind deeper into peaceful sleep. Your mind is drifting very softly now. Thoughts are faint. Sometimes they appear only as brief impressions. Sometimes they do not appear at all. Just quiet awareness floating gently in the night. Your breathing continues in its calm rhythm. Air enters slowly, then leaves just as easily. Your chest rises, then settles again, each breath soft and steady. Your nervous system recognizes this pattern. It understands that nothing in this moment requires effort, so the body continues relaxing even deeper. Your shoulders remain heavy and supported. Your arms rest without movement. Your hands feel warm and loose. Your legs are still. Your feet relaxed. The entire body resting comfortably. And when the body becomes this still, the brain responds by slowing even more. The fast activity from earlier has faded completely. The mind now moves in slow, gentle waves. These waves carry the brain closer to deep sleep. You may notice that your thoughts feel almost dreamlike now. Small fragments appear, a soft image, a color, a place that fades before becoming clear. This is the brain quietly preparing dreams. The boundary between thinking and dreaming is becoming very thin. Your awareness drifts, returns briefly, then drifts again. Each time the drifting lasts longer, each time the mind relaxes further. Your breathing grows even softer. In, out, in, out. Your heart beats calmly. Your muscles remain loose. Your mind floats peacefully between awareness and sleep. Earlier tonight, your brain was carrying many things. Thoughts moved quickly. The mind tried to organize everything, but now that pressure has disappeared. Your brain has set those thoughts aside. It understands that night is for restoration. During sleep, the brain performs quiet work. It clears away unnecessary signals. It organizes memories. It restores energy to the nervous system. And it calms emotional tension from the day. But all of that begins with this moment, this calm space where the mind stops working. Your awareness now is very light, almost like floating. Sounds feel distant. Time feels soft. Thoughts fade before they finish. Sometimes your mind may pause for several seconds. Nothing happening at all, just quiet. These small pauses are where deeper sleep begins forming, the brain gently crossing from wakefulness into dreams. Your eyelids feel heavy. Your body feels warm and supported. Your breathing continues its slow rhythm. There is nothing left to do tonight, no problems to solve, no plans to organize. Tomorrow will take care of itself when morning arrives. Right now, the night is simply guiding your mind into rest. If a thought appears, it fades quickly. The brain no longer wants to follow it. Instead, it moves toward silence, toward deeper stillness, toward sleep. You might notice that your awareness drifts longer now. Moments pass where you barely notice the world around you, your mind floating quietly between thoughts and dreams. The calm rhythm of your breathing continues guiding everything. In, out, in, out. Your nervous system remains peaceful. Your body remains completely relaxed. Your brain continues slowing its activity, and very soon the drifting will become complete sleep. Not suddenly, just quietly, the mind crossing into dreams without effort. So allow your awareness to soften even more. Let the sound of this voice fade gently into the background. You do not need to listen carefully anymore. Your mind can simply rest. Your breathing slow, your body heavy, your thoughts almost gone. The night surrounding you with calm, and in the next part, the final layer of awareness will fade completely. Your mind will settle into deep, peaceful sleep. Your mind is almost completely quiet now. Thoughts appear only rarely. Sometimes they do not appear at all, just a calm, open stillness. Your breathing continues gently. Air moves in slowly, then leaves your body with ease. Your chest rises, then settles again. This steady rhythm continues without effort. Your nervous system rests inside this calm pattern. Your shoulders remain heavy and supported. Your arms rest loosely beside you. Your hands feel warm and relaxed. Your legs are still. Your feet remain quiet. The entire body comfortable and at ease. Nothing needs to move. Nothing needs attention. Your brain recognizes that the body is completely safe, so it continues reducing its activity. Thoughts fade further. Awareness becomes softer. The mind drifts easily between moments of quiet and the beginning of dreams. Sometimes a faint image appears, then disappears. Sometimes there is nothing at all, just peaceful darkness behind closed eyes. These quiet moments are where deep sleep begins. Your brain slowly transitions into its slowest rhythms, rhythms that restore the mind, rhythms that calm the nervous system, rhythms that repair the body after a long day. Earlier tonight, your mind felt overwhelmed. Thoughts were heavy. The brain tried to hold everything at once, but that weight has been released. Your brain has set those thoughts aside. It understands now that the night is for rest. Tomorrow will bring clarity. Tomorrow will bring energy. But tonight is simply for sleep. Your breathing remains slow. In, out, in, out. Your heart beats calmly. Your muscles remain completely relaxed. Your awareness continues fading into gentle stillness. You may notice that your mind drifts away for longer periods now. Seconds pass. Then awareness returns briefly, then fades again. Each time the drifting grows deeper. Each time the mind releases more control. Soon awareness will no longer return. Sleep will take its place. And when sleep arrives, your brain will begin its quiet work. Memories organizing themselves, emotions softening, energy returning to your system, all happening naturally while you rest. You do not need to guide any of it. Your brain already knows how. Right now, the most important thing is simply this calm moment. Your body resting comfortably, your breathing slow and steady, your mind quiet and peaceful. The overwhelmed feeling from earlier has completely disappeared. In its place, there is only stillness. Stillness that gently carries the mind toward dreams. You might notice the sound of this voice fading further now. Your mind no longer needs to follow the words. It can drift freely. Sleep is already very close. Your awareness becoming lighter, your thoughts almost gone, your breathing slow, your body warm and supported. The night holding you in quiet rest. And as your mind continues drifting, sleep arrives softly, effortlessly, peacefully, your brain finally resting, your mind finally quiet. Good night, quiet mind. Sleep will always be here when your mind needs a place to slow down.